Retail Week is brought to you by Nutrisphere N, Nitrogen Fertilizer Manager, protecting your nitrogen from all three forms of loss. Well, hello again. Welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. Eric and Paul, we're traveling on the road and we're actually in the same place at the same time, which doesn't
Never
happen.
happens.
Never happens anymore.
Yeah.
But here we are after a week-long celebration of the Environmental Respect Awards, crowned some ambassadors last night, so we're getting ready to head back and get back to work. Well, sort of. I'm going to be traveling again, but you'll be in the office for a little bit. But it was an interesting week. We get to spend some time with retailers. We get to spend some time with some of the service providers, find out what's going on in the marketplace. And discussion, I guess, a lot of it's still around Dicamba.
Yes, exactly. I know last week Jackie Pucci was my guest, and she's been following that story for us pretty heavily. But as you're aware, the state of Arkansas has banned the sale and use of Dicamba. Missouri had done the same, but has now reversed that. If folks in the state can get some training and certification, then they will be able to use Dicamba. And they also changed some of the label restrictions to kind of be more in line with the label restrictions that folks in other states are using. But Paul, we've also heard that the state of Tennessee now is starting to see some cupping and dicamba damage, allegedly, in the soybean crops there. So, but I know that Jackie had sat in on a conference call that Rob Fraley, President and CEO of Monsanto, had with the media. And basically Rob said that he'd been visiting some fields where there was some reported dicamba damage, and according to him it looks like it was a combination of inadequate buffer zones and higher wind speeds being present when application work was being done. It was to blame. So Monsanto is doubling down on this technology, saying that it will be effective, it will work as it's promised, but again, we'll have to see as things move forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some of the retailers here talking about it were saying they really think they were doing the very best they could with what they were giving instruction-wise and product-wise, and we're still having some issues and still hearing about some issues. So I think as we go through, hopefully this will get a closer examination through the entire season to see what more can be done or what holes there might be, if there are any, and figure out how to best use the technology. I mean, growers are demanding it, retailers want to use it, and certainly growers are needing them to make sure that they use it properly. So hopefully we get through this and we can figure out a best path forward and get to next season that much better. A couple more things after the break. We'll see you in a bit.
Over the 9+ years, they've done over 400 trials, side-by-side replicated trials, and we've shown that 90% of the time we've had a positive yield response with Nutrisphere. So 90% of the time a crop producer out of those 400+ trials could expect a positive response. That positive response is average 10 bushel an acre across all 400+ trials.
Okay, as I said, next week I'll be traveling, be the InfoAg conference for most of next week. There's a lot going on in technology. A lot of rumors are coming in. We're getting phone calls about some things that are happening. I think with the continued downturn in the ag economy and farmers having issues financially to some degree, if not large degree in some areas, the precision ag technology and practices have kind of been watched and to some degree pulled back. So we're seeing that kind of that changing of technology that we've anticipated in terms of companies potentially getting more collaborative. In some cases, if maybe giving up the ghost and shuttering companies. I think there's going to be a lot of discussion about the activities that we'll be seeing in the future at the InfoAg conference. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I know myself, I'll be on the road quite a bit. At the end of the month here in July, Case IH is having an event in Boone, Iowa, talking about its new products for the 2018 season. And later that week, I'll be in Ames, Iowa. Our friends at Ag Leader, mentioning precision agriculture, are celebrating 25 years in business with an open house, and I'm sure we'll have reports from both of those events in the next couple of weeks.
Yep, harvest in our heartland. It's not that far away. It's hard to believe.
Be here very soon.
All right, well, that's it for this edition of Retail Week, and we'll see you next week. Thank you to this week's video sponsor, Nutrisphere N Fertilizer Manager from Verdesian Life Sciences.